imbere. No inama ihuje abantu bavuye mu bihugu bigera kuri 23 ku isi hose bafite abahuriye n'ubucuruzi ishoramari muri rusange, bakarebera hamwe ni gute ubukungu bwa Afrika bushobora gutera imbere cyangwa se bushobora kuzamura. Urwego rw'abikorera mu Rwanda turabizeza ko rwatangiye muri 2009, narwo ku nshuro ya mbere bashizeho ino business forum ihuje abacuruzi ndetse n'abashoramari batandukanye baturutse hirya no hino ku isi, barebera hamwe ese imbogamizi bahura nazo niziye, ni gute zishobora kuvaho. Ibi nanone babanje barebera hamwe nyuma yuko washyizweho umukono ku masezerano ku isoko rusange rya Afrika rifite ikizi cyangwa se tanga ikizere ko abaturage babajijwe bagera kuri 72% bagaragaza ko bishimiye iri soko rusange cyangwa se continental free trade area. No kurebera hamwe ese ubuhahirane hagati y'ibihugu bya Afrika buhagaze gute uno munsi.
You're welcome, Your Excellency. Thank you. Please be seated. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Chairman of the Rwanda Private Sector Federation, Captains of Industry, Honorable Ministers and senior officials present here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again and welcome to the inaugural edition of the Golden Business Forum. My name is Louise Kanyonga, and it is my distinct honor to be your Master of Ceremony today. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, this first ever Golden Business Forum is being held under the overall theme of unlocking intra-African trade. It's been attended by over 300 business leaders from Rwanda and over 100 business leaders from close to 10 other countries, mostly from Asia, Europe, and the rest of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very warm Rwandan welcome to our guests who have traveled from Africa and beyond to be with us here today. Thank you. Let me also take this opportunity at the outset and on behalf of the distinguished delegates to express our deepest appreciation to Your Excellency for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be here today. I think this is a very strong demonstration that you truly consider the private sector as a valued opportunity. Please join me in showing our appreciation to His Excellency as well. Thank you. Your Excellency, this forum was inspired by the private sector's ambition to become more centrally involved in the economic development agenda of our country and our continent. And earlier today, we had a very good conversation on the difficult task that lies ahead to spur the continent's transformation through the AfCFTA. And later we will be having B2B networking sessions where hopefully we'll be able to forge concrete business opportunities across countries and indeed across continents. This is a very timely move from the private sector as we experience significant shifts across the continent and also other global forces that no doubt impact Africa. It is truly time for our private sector to take its place firmly as the driver of Africa's economic transformation. The private sector will be very critical in accelerating the pace of Africa's integration and achieving the reality of a single African market. Excellencies, distinguished guests, allow me now to invite our first speaker for this opening session, Mr. Robert Bapfakurera, Chairman of the Rwanda Private Sector Federation, to deliver his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming him.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, the Ambassadors, Commissioner of Trade and Industry in the African Union, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to address this forum, and I'm glad that the father of the Rwanda's global recognition and development accepted our invitation as the guest of honor. Thank you, Mr. President. Your Excellency, we as the private sector express our gratitude to you because we accurately distinguish where we are coming from and where we are now. It is not a secret that had it not been your good leadership, Rwanda would be recognized as a failed state, but your leadership has driven us to an entrepreneurial spirit and mounting our hope to success. There is no doubt we've made some significant strides forward as a country. We are now in a position to achieve things we hadn't even thought about 20 years ago. Yes, comparably, we agree that Rwanda is a small country in size and population, but big in human potential and with huge appetite for innovation and the development of our country. The Golden Business Forum, under the theme of Unlocking Africa, Trade with Itself and the World, is an annual event, is an annual high-level business platform and a channel for the business players to continue contributing to the socio-economic development of the continent. Mr. President, at this juncture, I request you that you continue to be the patron of this important forum for promoting and advocating for CFTA promotion in Africa. We found out even from the panelists and the audience, they feel this kind of forum can promote and can fast track the CFTA program. This forum has brought together principal investors, business, political leaders involved in business cycles of development to shape Africa's national agenda. As always known, new ideas often arise and evolve when stakeholders with different backgrounds and skills meet. So through this event, we expect participants to discover business opportunities, network, share experiences, seal business partnerships, and strategize how Africa economies would expand the intra-trade, enhance competitiveness and industry and enterprise level through exploitation of opportunities for the scale of production, continental market access, better allocation of resources. However, this can't be achieved without revealing the true continental depictions and deliver frontline actions to address today's cross-cutting challenges facing intra-African trade. Your Excellency, in this forum, we invited all kinds of potential investors, and we expect the imminent discussions to also build on the African Continental Free Trade Area. Estimates from the Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, suggest that the CFTA has the potential to boost intra-Africa trade by 52% once Africa states eliminate import duties, and to double this trade if non-tariff barriers are also reduced. According to economists, the CFTA will make Africa the world's largest free trade area with gross domestic product worth about $2.4 trillion. Africa's population is expected to grow to about 2.6 billion by 2050, making it the world's largest market. So a free tariff access to market shall encourage service providers and manufacturers to leverage the economies of scale. So far, debates and questions have raised around whether Africa's private sector is ready for CFTA implementation. Responding to this, I emphasize Africa business leaders here today to continue the awareness campaign on CFTA since we are the primary beneficiaries. I further request the business leaders to lobby, advocate, and influence their political leaders to develop and harmonize conducive laws and policies set to accelerate intra-African trade and boost Africa's trading position in the global market by strengthening Africa's common voice and policy space in global trade negotiations. As I conclude, I hope that today's business forum will stimulate new ideas, a productive dialogue on how business can both enrich and benefit from privileged relationship between our countries. And I encourage all of you to network, share best practices, as I'm confident that today's discussion and the afternoon's business-to-business matchmaking meetings will lead to new collaborations and translating to new jobs and value creation. Together, we can tip the balance of change from challenge to opportunity, and that a friend's business partner and equals, we will secure a more prosperous future for all people. Thank you for your kind attention and wish you a fruitful day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for those welcome remarks, setting out the broad themes for this forum, and also highlighting the immense opportunity that the AFCFTA presents for Africa's private sector. Distinguished guests, it is now my honor to invite Honorable Soraya Hakuziyaremye, Minister of Trade and Industry, Republic of Rwanda, to also deliver her remarks, and invite our guest of honor to deliver the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming her as she makes her way.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, honorable ministers, excellencies, ambassadors, heads of international organizations, captain of industries and business leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is an honor to participate in this inaugural Golden Business Forum, in which we celebrate entrepreneurship and also chart a way forward on how to boost intra-Africa trade and Africa's trade with the rest of the world. As the theme of this forum puts it clear, the thinking around unlocking trade in Africa and trade with Africa and the world comes at a time when we are still celebrating the launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement that symbolizes the aspiration of our continent in trading and industrialization vision. Let me take this opportunity to recognize the business leaders and captains of industries from Africa, Asia, Middle East, and Europe who are here today and who are also attending the International Trade Fair in Kigali. Your presence demonstrates a commitment and a determination to promote intracontinental trade. Your Excellency, we are grateful to have you gracing this occasion in spite of your very busy schedule. It is a clear demonstration of your resolve to support the development of our private sector, your vision and relentless efforts to lead and champion the interests of entrepreneurs which resound beyond our borders. Your presence is invaluable and means a lot to all participants here present. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, the launch of this forum is expected to provide a true intercontinental experience that addresses today's challenges. Investments and a dynamic private sector are solid building blocks for economic development and social progress. They are essential as our country and our continent seek to eradicate poverty and reduce unemployment through private sector-led growth models. The government of Rwanda has been steadfast in creating a conducive business environment for investors. Our competitiveness rankings bear testimony to this, and we are determined to make the trajectory of positive rankings irreversible. This forum will continuously be organized to assist investors in the process of identifying investment opportunities, in prioritizing such strategic areas to invest in and also create joint ventures. The discussions we've had and the ones that we'll have later on shed a light on the opportunities that can emanate from building stronger business relationships to stimulate homegrown solutions that address challenges that still hinder a successful intra-African trade. The share of Africa in the global trade is still very low at 3%. We want to be innovative and purposeful, putting all our resources to most optimal use so that we can look for better and faster ways to transform our economies. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, Rwanda believes irrevocably in free trade. Our commitments to the East African community, to the common market of Eastern and Southern Africa, to the tripartite region, but also to the African Continental Free Trade Area, and all their numerous bilateral arrangements are firm foundations of our trade policy. We have led the way in implementing many of the committed obligations, and for instance, you all experienced our easy visa regime entering the country. It is our hope that all our trading partners will demonstrate similar resolve in opening borders. Rwanda is a location of choice to reach the vast East, Central, and African regional markets. We now cherish our digital and air transport connectivity that have brought Rwanda to your doorsteps. We are indeed determined to make our country the destination of choice for investors from across the globe. Talking of digital and air transport, we will also endeavor not to forget trade in services in our discussions. While Africa may lack the competitive edge and scale to match the progress made by developed nations with regards to manufacturing, trade in services offer us an opportunity to speed up our growth and development, since it's an important component of our gross domestic product in all African nations. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, before I conclude, I would like to pay special tribute to the Private Sector Federation of Rwanda and the Rwanda Convention Bureau and all other partner organizers who have worked tirelessly to make this event a reality. With these few remarks, it is now my honor to invite Your Excellency to address the participants. Thank you.
Chairperson of the Private Sector Federation, honorable ministers, Commissioner in the African Union, business leaders from Rwanda, Africa, and beyond, senior officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Thank you for the invitation to join you today for the first Golden Business Forum. I first want to extend a special welcome to all the visitors who have traveled here to participate. Please feel at home and come back often. The private sector is absolutely central to Africa's transformation. For too long, development was seen as the task of governments and NGOs. Business was rarely included in the conversation, even though the business people were always a significant part of that development. That attitude held us back both as Rwanda and as a continent. But a decisive shift has been underway. Over the past 15 years, African countries have been among the strongest performers on the World Bank's doing business. Business leaders now participate regularly in African Union summits in a meaningful way. Most importantly, the pace of regional and continental integration has accelerated significantly. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is now in force, and trading will commence in July 2020. The protocol on the free movement of people has been signed, and the ratification process is underway. Once in effect, Africans will no longer require visas to travel within Africa, among other valuable rights. You know, on this point, we need to understand that, one, how are you going to allow otherwise free movement of goods, but you don't allow free movement of people? Also, we have to understand that even with the most restrictions on movements of people and visa and all requirements, actually people have been moving. They move across borders whether you give them visa or not. They only choose which routes to take, and some of these people are brothers and sisters, only that they live on the opposite sides of what is known as the border. So it's up to us, the leaders, mainly political leaders, to really make it easy for all of us, because in the end we benefit without exception. So similarly, the adoption of the single African air transport market is set to eliminate internal barriers for African airlines. These agreements are set to remain or to remake African economies for the better, generating new opportunities for the firms who are ready to take full advantage. Of course, we expect that African companies will be in the lead, showing the way. The progress at the continental level complements what we have been doing in our East African region. We are working to build shared railway infrastructure and power transmission ones. The single customs territory and the associated digital applications have enhanced trade facilitation. These measures, among others, have already resulted in increased trade volumes within our region and higher revenues. I therefore wish to commend the Private Sector Federation for organizing this forum, which we hope to see become a regular event, and the chairman of the Private Sector Federation, Rwanda's. Since you gave me an open invitation, I promise you I will be a regular attendee of the forum. Both while in this office or outside of it. If the invitation remains open. And I wish to thank again the other participants from across Africa and those who came in from Asia. I'm told the Chinese have a significant number here present. Thank you for being part of this. And others from Europe and other places. You are most welcome. Africa's continued growth requires global linkages, especially through business-to-business relationships. The more we trade with each other within Africa, the more we will be able to not only export to the rest of the world as well, but it increases the understanding of each other and creates a good relationship among our nations. Definitely, there is this direct correlation. Governments are only part of the equation. We cannot do it without the private sector. The Continental Free Trade Agreement will only produce the results we expect if the business community, make it work for us. That is the most important message I wish to leave with you, and I hope everyone will be able to enjoy the 22nd Rwanda International Trade Affairs Wear before it concludes on Sunday. I also wish you a very successful and productive day as you continue your deliberations. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those very thoughtful and insightful remarks, and for being indeed a strong and consistent champion of the private sector. I'm sure the business community in the room had your very strong call for them to fully take advantage of the opportunities that are offered by the accelerating regional and continental integration to trade more with each other and with the rest of the world. I think, as you rightly said, the private sector must make it work for us all. Thank you once again, Your Excellency. Excellency, distinguished guests, with that, we have come to the end of the opening ceremony. We will now be having a photo session, and I'll ask the distinguished delegates who are part of the photo to please make their way to the back of the room. Protocol will be there to guide you, and you will be joined by His Excellency the President. Distinguished guests, let us once again give a warm round of applause to our distinguished speakers this morning, and thank Your Excellency very much for taking the time to be with us here today. Thank you. Protocol will be here to guide you to the photo session. Thank you. If I could ask the rest of the delegates to please remain seated in the room as His Excellency and the delegates make their way out. Thank you very much.
mumaze kwikurikira umukuru w'igihugu akaba rero atangije ku mugaragaro na trade fair y'ihuriro ry'abashoramari ndetse n'abacuruzi ryateguwe ku bufatanye na PSF cyangwa se urugaga rw'abikorera ariko ishami ry'u Rwanda bikazajya biba buri mwaka aho bazajya bashimira abashoramari ndetse n'abacuruzi b'indashyikirwa ariko banarebera hamwe amahirwe ahari by'umwihariko muri Afurika ashobora kubyazwa umusaruro. Nanone bimwe mu byaganiriweho ahangaha bagarutse ku bijyanye n'isoko rusange rya Afurika ryashyizweho umukono hano i Kigali mu Rwanda. Umukuru w'igihugu cy'u Rwanda mu kanya gato akaba asobanuye ko ishyirwa mu bikorwa rizatangira mu kwezi kwa karindwi 2020, ariko imbogamizi zari ziriho nyinshi cyane zibuza urujya n'uruza rw'abantu ko zigomba kuvangwa cyangwa se kuba zitakiriho. Nanone avuga ko nta viza zigomba kuzaba zigihari icyo gihe kuko ni imwe mu mbogamizi zakomeje kubangamira abantu kugira ngo bahahirane. Nanone anareberamo ko bizakuraho imbogamizi mu bwikorezi bwo mu kirere ndetse n'ibindi. Ariko nanone umukuru w'igihugu cy'u Rwanda akaba yagaragaje ko harimo kurebwa uko Afurika yazaranganya ibikorwa remezo bihari uno munsi, yaba mu bijyanye n'ibikorwa remezo, yaba mu mashanyarazi, imihanda ndetse n'ibindi. Ihuje abasaga abantu 700 bafite abahurira ishoramari rya Afurika muri rusange, bakaba bari baturutse mu bihugu bisaga 23 byo hirya no hino ku isi. Bakaba rero nk'uko ndabibabwiraga bateraniye hano i Kigali barebera hamwe ese n'iki cyakorwaho uno munsi kugira ngo urwego rw'abikorera rw'u Rwanda n'u Rwanda gusa rwateguye n'inama bwa mbere, ariko n'urwego rw'abikorera ku isi by'umwihariko kuri Afurika ni gute bashobora nabo gutera iyambere. Imibare igaragaza ko 1/5 cy'ibicuruzwa bikorerwa hagati ubuhahirane ubuhahirane hagati y'ibihugu bya Afurika, ubwo ni ukuvuga ngo urugero u Rwanda na Repubulika ya Demokarasi ya Kongo cyangwa se Kenya n'ikindi gihugu, ubuhahirane hagati y'ibihugu bya Afurika ubwabyo biracyari hasi, biracyari ku kigero cya 1/5. Ibingibi imbogamizi mo nta zindi. Imibare igaragaza byibura akambara urugero ruto cyane nka Kenya ubwayo. Kenya yohereza ibintu muri Europe, ibintu bifite agaciro ka miliyari 1 y'amadolari y'Amanyamerika. Nanone ugasanga ibyo yohereza muri Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika bifite agaciro ka miliyoni 500 z'amadolari y'Amanyamerika. Ariko asanga ubucuruzi hagati ya Kenya na Ethiopia ari cyo gihugu bari bakwiye guhahirana cyane, ugasanga ahabwo agaciro karacyari hasi, bari kuri miliyoni 69 z'amadolari y'Amanyamerika. Ahangaha bakaba bagaragaza impamvu nta yindi nuko usanga kenshi ari uko imisoro ihanitse hagati y'ibihugu bya Afurika. Bakarebera muri ino soko rusange rya Afurika rizatangira umwaka utaha gushyirwa mu bikorwa mu kwezi kwa karindwi nk'uko umukuru w'igihugu amaze kubitangaza. Byibura bizakoraho imisoro ku kigero cya 90%. Ibi bikazatuma rero ubuhahirane burushaho kumera neza. Ariko byose ntabwo bizakorwa ku bicuruzwa gusa nk'uko umukuru w'igihugu amaze kubivuga ati iyo tuvuze guhahirana arimo kujyana ibintu ariko nanone umuntu we ntabwo agenda avuga ko ari uburyo busanzwe bwinshi cyane abantu basanzwe bakoresha kugira ngo byibura bave mu gihugu kimwe bajya mu kindi atari ibyo nabyo biri mu nyigo kandi amasezerano arafuye gushyirwa mu kuntu abyemeza burundu kuko ikigaragara ni uko hari uburyo busanzwe banakoresha bambuka ava mu gihugu kimwe bajya mu kindi. Nanone ikigaragara ni uko uno munsi ibintu bikorerwa muri Afurika muri rusange bifuza ko bino soko rusange rizibandaho barifuza byibura ko hazahangwa byibura imirimo mishya miliyoni 2 buri mwaka. Ibi bikazatuma rero bagabanya umubare w'urubyiruko bumva ko amakiriro y'urubyiruko ari kujya mu Burayi ndetse n'ahandi. Ariko ibi kugira ngo bigire bahanga ino mirimo nanone baragaragaza ko byibura urwego rw'inganda rugomba gutezwa imbere ariko ibikorerwa mu nganda akaba ari byo ahanini birushaho koherezwa hanze. Kumva ko kohereza ibintu bitari processed kubyohereza mu Burayi ndetse n'ahandi bumva ko ari igihombo gikomeye cyane ku isoko rusange. Urwego rw'abikorera rwo mu Rwanda kuba rutangije bwa mbere iri huriro ry'ubucuruzi umukuru w'igihugu akaba anabwiye ko muzajya mutegura inama nk'izi ngizi ndetse n'irindi huriro ryo ryose rwose mugiye mwizera ko mari kugira ngo ze dukomeze dusangire cyangwa se turebe ukuntu Afurika yava hamwe ikagera ahandi. Cyangwa ko tubashimire mwe mwese mwabanye natwe. Iyi nama yo irakomeje mazakomeza kubikurikirana ndetse no mu biganiro no mu makuru yacu atandukanye ariko nonaha reka tube duhinyanga gahunda za televiziyo Rwanda zo zirakomeje.